Hey everyone, and welcome to This Explainer. If you've ever been part of a software development team, you know the exact sinking feeling of a Friday afternoon deployment gone completely wrong. And that is inevitably followed by an absolute avalanche of bug reports. Now, discovering bugs is just a normal part of the process, right? But when that backlog hits triple digits, it's pure chaos. So today, we're going to transform that software bug chaos into a highly organized, highly effective framework by looking at the principles of software defect classification.
Okay, let's dive right into this. Picture this. You are staring at your queue and you have exactly 100 software bugs screaming for your attention. Which one do you fix first? If you just pick one at random, you might be wasting precious time on some minor UI glitch, while a severe memory leak is silently taking down your servers in the background. Treating this scenario exactly like an emergency room triage isn't just dramatic, it's absolutely essential for survival. You need a system to tell you exactly who needs the doctor right now and who can safely sit in the waiting room.
So what is this system? At its core, defect classification involves categorizing the bugs discovered during the software testing process, based on various risk and impact factors. Think of this as your ultimate triage system to save the software patient. By doing this, teams stop reacting blindly. Instead, they build a really robust framework to understand defect trends, prioritize their fixes intelligently, and ultimately improve their entire development and testing processes.
To build this system out, we're going to follow a 5-part framework today. Number 1, taming software defect chaos. 2, severity, which is measuring the impact. 3, priority, the order of operations. 4, defect type, the bug's actual nature. And 5, origin, tracing the source.
All right, let's kick things off with part 1, taming software defect chaos, and why classification actually matters.
Look, without a framework, technical teams literally lose their minds under the weight of a massive backlog. Our entire system here is built on 3 core goals: understanding trends, prioritizing fixes, and improving processes. If you're just playing whack-a-mole with bugs as they roll in, you never step back to see the bigger picture. You never spot the trends that tell you why those bugs are happening in the first place, and you definitely never improve your engineering process to prevent them from coming back.
Moving right along to part 2, severity. Basically, measuring the impact, or asking, how badly is the software hurt?
The typical classifications for severity are broken down into 4 distinct levels. First is critical. This is your worst-case scenario, where the defect causes a complete shutdown of the system or a major loss of service. The patient is flatlining. Next is high. Here, the defect causes significant functional loss, but the system can still technically operate. Then we have medium severity, where the defect causes some functional loss, but it's tolerable. And finally, low severity, meaning the defect has minimal impact. Just think about the difference between a system-crashing checkout failure in an e-commerce app versus a minor CSS misalignment in the footer. Both are technically bugs, sure, but the severity of their functional impact is vastly different.
Which brings us to part 3, priority, the order of operations. Basically, who gets the doctor first?
Now that we know how bad the bug is, we need to know when to fix it. Priority refers strictly to the order in which defects should be addressed, again using 4 levels. Urgent means exactly that. Fix it immediately, drop everything. High means fix it as soon as possible. Medium means the defect can just be fixed in the normal course of your development schedule. And low priority means you can safely defer it until all other defects are handled. The critical ER patients get saved first. And keep in mind, priority is often heavily influenced by business needs, not just technical failures, like a bug that's currently blocking a VIP client from accessing their account. That changes things.
And this brilliantly illustrates the absolute critical difference between these 2 concepts, because people mix them up all the time. Severity determines the impact on the system's functionality, while priority dictates the absolute urgency of the fix. You really don't want to confuse these. For example, a bug might have a massive functional impact, high severity. But if it only affects a tiny, hidden feature nobody is using right now, it might be deferred, meaning low priority. Conversely, a visually embarrassing spelling mistake on your main homepage might have 0 functional impact, low severity, but you better believe the priority to fix it is going to be incredibly urgent.
All right, part 4, defect type, the bug's nature. What kind of illness are we actually dealing with here?
Now, what's really interesting here is when we look at the actual nature of the problem. We see distinct categories: functional, performance, usability, and security. Functional issues break the expected behavior. Performance issues degrade speed, response time, and resource usage. Usability affects the end-user experience. And security, of course, compromises safety. Categorizing this is absolutely essential for proper routing. A performance bug dragging down your load speed? Well, that requires a database expert to tune some queries. But a deeply embedded vulnerability? You need your SecOps team on that, immediately.
And finally, Part 5, Origin, tracing the source. Where was this disease contracted?
Defect origin is all about pinning down the exact phase of the software development lifecycle where the defect was introduced, whether that's early in initial coding, mid-phase during integration, or very late in the cycle. And here is a crucial industry secret known as shift-left testing. A bug found in early coding costs literally pennies to fix, but that exact same bug found way late in production, that can cost thousands of dollars in engineering hours and lost revenue. By diagnosing your workflow and tracing origins, you identify exactly which phases desperately need better guardrails.
So the crucial point is this. By categorizing defects across severity, priority, type, and origin, teams actually reclaim their resources. You stop spinning your wheels in a sheer panic over every minor bug, and you start strategically allocating your team's energy to where it makes the absolute highest impact. This whole triage framework isn't just about fixing the present. It actively improves your development lifecycle for the future.
Which leaves us with this final thought. Take a hard look at your own team's workflow today. Are you strategically classifying bugs to cure the disease, or are you just endlessly swatting at symptoms? If it's the latter, it might be time to bring triage into your process. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.